right. Good afternoon and welcome back to Knowledge Corner. I'm here with my nephew Kyle.
Hello.
And he's willing to help me out today. He is a 2018 graduate, high school graduate from Tompkins Woodville, and a 2021 graduate from Fort Valley State University. So I asked him to come on and just basically talk about what the process that he went through high school, because as you know, and if you looked at the previous videos that I've done, I took us through 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade just to give you an idea of what your student needed to do or how you could help them in their process. So Cal, as you proceeded through high school, tell us about your decision making as far as what you wanted to do, how you determined what you wanted to do as far as moving on after high school, life after high school.
Gotcha. So for me specifically, throughout my matriculation in high school specifically, I attended Woodville Tompkins Technical Career High School. It's a career pathway driven school, and I did culinary arts and I did technology. While I was in high school, we did something called dual enrollment, where you would take college classes on campus or you go to Savannah Tech and take college classes. I did take advantage of that opportunity, and I do highly encourage all upcoming high schoolers to take advantage of that opportunity, because it is a free college education versus when you actually get to college, you will have to pay for it out of your own pocket or through loans, however. So I do highly suggest you take that consideration and do enrollment in high school. And I did take advantage of that, and that's why I knew that I should go to college, and I knew the do's and don'ts in college and the finesses or whatever they call it. I attended Fort Valley State University, majoring in political science and criminal justice. I recently graduated last fall in December. My transition from high school to college, I didn't really have a choice. I had to make some sort of a transition, whether it was military, whether it was straight to the workforce, or whether it was just, finding something creative to do. So I transitioning from high school to college. I took the ASVAB. That is a test that will assess you for the military, the different branches of the military. I took the ACT and the ASAT, all weighing out my options to see where I wanted to go after school. And I think that's a very good first step for transitioning high school students to college students. I made my decision to go to college, as I said, being in dual enrollment, and then knowing that I want to be a future attorney. And so, of course, you have to go and acquire an undergraduate degree. And I knew I didn't want to go to the military. That was just a personal decision. And when I got to college, I made my decision to stay in college, because I knew that as a young black male in the minorities, that you had to go against all odds. Now, in our time now, a lot of people have an education, and a lot of people have different backgrounds, etc., in education. And I just knew that I had to go to school, and I had to prove why school works. Okay. And so, people will say school is just, okay, you just go get a degree, or it's just a waste of time, and if you don't know somebody, you won't go anywhere with them. I look at the undergraduate experience as a trial and error experience. That is where, and I think anybody can attest to this, that is where you will learn the basic fundamentals of life, things that your parents can't teach you. You will learn it either by hitting rock bottom, or watching somebody else go through it, or just figuring out how to get through things. And I do feel that undergraduate experience is very imperative, just as a military experience would be, to show you how to get through the workforce and to take an assignment and carry through an assignment. And I think college also does the same thing.
Just to interject, before we get to college, I kind of wanted to focus on, like, when you were in high school, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. I know coming in freshman year, you're still adjusting to transitioning from middle school.
Right.
But as you started to matriculate through 10th and 11th and 12th grade, what path did you take to sort of navigate to, okay, I think I want to go to I know I want to go to college. So how did you choose your school? Basically, did you have several that you liked and you just picked, or how did you go? How did you go about that?
So me specifically, I was accepted to multiple schools. I chose Fort Valley. I was accepted to Morehouse. I was accepted to Columbus State University. I was accepted to Clark Atlanta. I also was accepted to Johnson and Wales to do culinary. I made my decision based on my circumstances at the time. Whether your circumstances are financially or emotionally, mentally, whatever they are, you need to be able to assess how you're going to get through college. So my decision was based on, I knew that I was a person to be easily distracted. So I chose a school that they had a lot of attractions, somewhat attractions, and it was more specifically of student-oriented attractions rather than a big city.
Right.
Fort Valley is a smaller city, so I chose Fort Valley because I knew I was going there to just get an education, to make my connections, and Fort Valley State University and the city of Fort Valley had a very great homegrown atmosphere, and I knew that I can latch on to that and be able to matriculate how I needed to with the resources at hand that I can get, and it not be at much of a competition. So for say like at Morehouse, I cannot say that I would have gotten the same opportunity at Fort Valley State University at Morehouse that I received at Fort Valley State University because of the capacity, the student capacity.
Right.
You have way more students on campus. You have a lot more competition. You have you have very hard, I won't say harder classes, but the classroom settings are more, the learning environment is it's a different learning environment, and it's some levels it's more challenging. And I knew that Fort Valley State University, it had that homegrown atmosphere and that I could latch on to it. I felt it when I went to orientation. And so it's always great to go and visit the schools, to see how the atmosphere is, to see how your advisors act, and see if they're actually engaged with the students, because throughout my transition, I knew that you will have to have a good advisor, whether mentor, whatever. Right. Your academic advisor is your best friend to get in and through school. And so I knew that at Fort Valley State University, the advisorship there was really good. And so that's something that I really took into consideration.
Okay, because I was in a previous episode, I was just letting them know that it's important to find, if you decided that college is your avenue to take, it's important to find that your niche, where you're going to fit in. And so you might have to go to the school. You'll at least reach out to them and let them know, I'm interested in your school. You have a program that I'm interested in getting a degree in. What are the requirements? What do I need to do to be able to do that? Another thing I kind of wanted to touch base on was deadlines. As they're filling out those applications for school, there's deadlines. I know there are financial aid deadlines that you want to meet that can determine how much funds you get for the upcoming year. So to kind of touch base on that aspect of it, how you maneuvered through those situations.
So, as in regards to finances and financial aid and all of that, Hope, Pell Grant, Zell Miller, all of that different type of those different money opportunities and scholarships and stuff. So, when I was transitioning to school, I of course seek for financial aid, and I was awarded financial aid all throughout my matriculation and Hope and different grants and scholarships. So a way to navigate through trying to figure out the financial part of school is to, of course, educate yourself. So for one, you're gonna have to complete your financial aid in a good enough time so you have it submitted, and you can upload all the additional documents needed for financial aid, such as your tax documents or proof of residence or whatever it may be. And it takes time once everyone is trying to do it, and So it's always best to, of course, do it ahead as early as you can. You're starting school fall 2022. Your financial aid, of course, should be completed by now. If you're looking to start in fall 23, you need to go ahead and get it done. I'd say at least before the year before, because the earlier you do it, actually, the more the grant money is offered to you. Now that's something that's not going to be said often, but that's something that I learned. The earlier that I do it, the more grant money you can have, or scholarship, or whatever the funds that you receive, and it'll reflect more once you have your refund, if you have a refund. As far as scholarships and things like that, the best thing, one of the most more important things to understand in college is that scholarships are key. You have scholarships out there that go directly to your student account. You have scholarships that go directly to your bank account, meaning that it won't have to go through the school. It'll come straight to your account. I had about 3 $500 scholarships going into my freshman year, and that was $1,500 that I had in my pocket, and that was a really good amount of money as a college student. And so that saw me through my first semester, and then as I saw that and how it elevated me, and it guided me throughout school financially, and so I continued to do that. So continue, always go after your alumni chapters, go after your alumni at your high school. They all have opportunities for you to fill out for scholarships. And to say it and to be honest, a lot of those scholarships go with 1 to 3 applications, and I've seen it to where everyone who has done an application has received funds. Mm-hmm. And a person where there's only one scholarship, that individual received all the funds that they allocated for that scholarship. And so no matter what, always just fill out a scholarship. If you see a scholarship opportunity, take advantage of it, because you could be the only one that's doing it.
And also with scholarships, that's just like grants. That's free money. Mm-hmm. That's money that you will not have to pay back. Mm-hmm. So the more scholarships, grants, and things of that nature that you do, that will lessen the amounts of loans that you will have to take out.
Correct.
And because loans are monies that you will have to pay back eventually once school stops. So that's everything to take in consideration. Being involved during, that's another thing I want to touch base on. High school extracurricular activities, being involved in different things that you like, not forcing yourself to be involved, but find something that you like, whether it be yearbook, if it doesn't even have to be sports, but I'll say sports. You can be involved in the band. I remember Cal, he was involved in the band. He could play an instrument. So all those things give you an opportunity for there to be scholarship, and also it helps you with socialization as you're going to be off from probably home for the first time. Right. So you'll be able to you'll socialize and be able to it'll help you grow, mature as a young person. So in high school, other than band, were you involved in any type of extracurriculars other than band?
So I did culinary arts at Woodville Tompkins, and I worked in a certified kitchen under a certified and degree chef, Bozier. I did a lot of different events for people, different events for the school board, different organizations in the community, and I did get a good experience with working with chefs, working in the kitchen, and then the overall experience working in that atmosphere at a high pace and high speed and high pressure. It gives you learned lessons. And so taking advantage of extracurricular activities both in high school and college is very it is imperative, and it really shows, and it gives you a good look on your resume, because resume is what gets you through everything. Or in college, getting into college, the request for your resume, different organizations on campus request for your resume in order to be admitted into that organization. If you want to do Greek life, you have to have a really good resume and a really good academic track record in order to be considered, and to be considered compared to other people who have these different type of clues, and they're taking advantage of them. the extracurricular activities, it's always best to do what you want to do and what you would like to do, or something that is easily comparable to what you want to do in life. Because, for example, you can't work on computers if you don't have the patience to learn it. So you have to do something that you want to do, that you would like to or love to do, in order to have fun in it, or you would just see yourself in a position where you're not comfortable.
I know you just touched base on another thing that I wanted to talk about when you said because I know when you first applied to Fort Valley and left, did you declare a major immediately, or did you have to play around with it to see what you wanted to do?
So I did declare a major immediately. Actually, my major that I declared was liberal studies. I chose that. The reason I chose that major was because it was the most broad topic. Liberal studies is a very broad topic. It's reading, writing, and history. That's liberal studies. And I went more into a specific route once I became more comfortable with what I wanted to do in life. I was in between wanting to just become a politician or wanting to just become a public administrator or something like that. But then I was really stuck on me becoming a lawyer and then getting in politics that way. So I made my decision to choose political science as well as criminal justice.
Okay.
And so to the point of you choosing your major, you do not have to know what you want to do right away. Right. I would just suggest that you know what field and what area you want to go into, whether it's the College of Arts, whether it's the College of Sciences, whether it's the College of Agriculture or Economics, whatever you decide. You just I would just say you cover that ground and say, hey, I want to go to a science career, I want to go to a studies career, I want to go to a, So I would just say just to know what area you want to study in. Right. You won't have to exactly nail down on what you want to do in life and make sure it makes sense to your major and stuff like that. So I would say you have up until your sophomore year, the beginning of your sophomore year, to decide, because once you get through with freshman year, your core classes, that's when you'll start getting into your major classes and then to your minor classes, etc. And you don't want to start taking classes in a major or in an area that you don't need for your major. Right. And that's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, and you will see yourself sitting in school for a lot longer than you have to. Exactly. So the sooner you know what you want to do or the area that you want to do something in the better you'll feel, and the better you'll be off.
And a lot of times I think we have kids, young people that are making the decision on schools. And they might not necessarily know what they want to major in. And so you find that they may pick a school that may not end up having their major. Right. So they'll end up, I don't want to say settling for, but just picking a major that the school has. So that's why another reason why I push joining extracurricular activities, just being a part of different groups, because it'll help expose you to different things. So when you're looking at your school, because you need to look at, along with choosing your school, you need to look at what degrees are being offered at the school, right, so that you'll have an idea. You don't want to just go, you know, in the back of your mind, you want to be a teacher, and you go to a school that does not offer teaching at all, right, or you want to kind of be in the health field, or maybe a nurse, LPN or RN, and you go to a school that does not offer that major at all. So you at least want to be in the ballpark, if that is. Right. And then if you have to switch it up later, then that's fine too. Because like I said previously, nothing is ever etched in stone. It's okay if you want to change, up. You just have to be responsible, make that conscious decision. I don't think this is for me. I might need to go in another direction, and that's okay. You don't have to get stuck and get a degree that you don't want anything to do with. So that you have to this whole process you need to be flexible with, consistent but flexible. Consistent but flexible.
And it also goes back to what I said. Undergraduate experience is trial and error. I can go on and on and on about the people that have criminal justice degrees and degrees in biology and degrees in chemistry and music degrees and all those different degrees, and they're not really even working in their field. And it's fine. It comes to a point where we realize that the experience is a good thing. The experience and living those life experiences and those errors and trials and errors, it builds you and it brings you to a point in your life where you feel that you can move forward, and with any project you can get through it. If you get to that stage and you walk that stage, no matter if you do anything with it after or not, you will walk away with those experiences and those lifetime lessons, those life learned lessons, and you will move forward in life with that. And I think that I think is really good.
And you're right, because those lifetime lessons will carry you into what you do next. And that's a very positive thing. If you once you get your degree, and like he said, you're not working anywhere in your field, but you're working a job that you know that you're going to be able to provide for yourself in your future family, or your already family and anything, but you're taking what you learn during that process to fulfill the requirements of your current employment. So it all works itself out in the end, but that's consistency to put forth to complete your degree, complete your high school diploma. All that is about just working towards it and staying consistent with it. I think I wanted Cal to come on because he took the I guess the more traditional route, where he completed school, went to college, completed college, and is in the workforce now, and going to be moving on with more schooling afterwards. And I think that's good. However, there are more non-traditional routes that are taken, and those routes are fine too, because it's your life. When you graduate high school, it's your road that you're taking. Your mom, dad, aunts, uncles, brothers and sisters, they've all been with you up until that point, and they'll be with you afterwards. But it'll be you moving forward in, if it's a job that you're going into, if it's your education that you're going into, whatever it is, it's going to be you. It's your road now. So you have to take that. So whatever you're doing is going to have to be what you like, because you're going to be the one doing it.
Right.
And I think that gets lost on young people as well, because they get concerned, or they just don't know. They know they want it, but getting to the point of going past and getting to it,
correct.
And they just but it's your road. You gotta go drive down that road now.
Right, and I think another one of the mistakes that we make in that transition from high school to college is that that there's an expectation of us to go to school or to hurry up and find a job. It's okay to sometimes stay in your high school position or work job, and to figure out, take a year or two and figure out what you want to do. Now it's best that they say don't wait, because then you might not end up going. That may be, but it takes a very deep reflective assessment in yourself, and to see that in this transition what you need to do. You also have the option to go do a trade, go to Savannah Tech and be able to do welding, and you can do culinary, you can do cosmetology. There's all different types of things that you can engage in. I live by the statement that you should invest in yourself instead of investing in the moment. So we have degrees. Right. We've invested in ourselves. We've sat in a lot of different trainings. We've sat and we're investing in back into the community what we know, and we've done a lot of different things as people investing in ourselves. But what I can say that we possibly didn't do is we did not remain stagnant where we at. Investing in a moment just to make the dollar, just to get by, and just to get through the day and through the week. That's why I think we make a mistake and time flies by and then we look back like, what did we do wrong? And what we did wrong is we did not invest in ourselves. We invested in a moment, and a moment never lasts. And so I do think that's a really good a point that I should have hit on. Yeah.
No, it's good. I mean, we playing it out as it comes out. So it's good that you did it came up and came out. So it's still good. So I want to thank you. For coming on today, and y'all, spread the word. Knowledge Corner, subscribe, like, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Bye.